In this lesson, we are going to implement Pay Order by PayPal. First of all, we need to get credentials from PayPal. Go to developer.paypal.com and log in and click on Get API Credentials. Log into your account. If you don't have PayPal account, click on Sign Up and create your PayPal account. You will be redirected to developer.paypal.com/dashboard. Click on Apps and Credential. Here we are in the sandbox mode. If you want to create the live credential, switch to live through this button. Let's start by creating an app. Enter app name. Here I'm setting next. Amazona V2. Select merchant. Select the default sandbox account and create app. Here we have the client ID and secret key. Copy. Go to the VS Code. Open .env file and add 3 variables. The first one is PayPal API URL. It's api-m.sandbox.paypal.com. If you are using the live one, remove sandbox. PayPal client ID. Paste the client ID here. Paste the client ID here. And for app secret, copy app secret and paste it here. Don't use these values because I'm going to remove this app after this video. Save it and let's go for next steps. The next step is creating paypal.ts in live folder. We're gonna define some utility functions to access PayPal. Open live folder, new file, paypal.ts. First of all, set the base. It's the base URL. Read it from PayPal API URL, this environment variable. If it's null, use the default one. Next step is exporting PayPal constant as an object, and here we're gonna define some utility functions. The first function is outside of PayPal. It is generate access token. In this async function, we read client ID and app secret from environment variables, then call buffer from Node.js and convert PayPal client ID : PayPal secret to hash string based on base 64. Here we have auth as a hashed value and we pass it to this API. It's an API in the PayPal to generate access token. The options for this API call are here. Method post. As a payload, set grant type to client credential, and in the header, pass authorization basic auth. It's the hashed value we generated in previous step. In the response, I call handle response to convert the response from PayPal to JSON data. Let's define handle response function. It's an async function. Get response as input parameter. If the status of response is okay, I mean if it's 200 or 201, return the response.json. Otherwise, generate the error message and through error. I call this function here, get the response, and return access token from the JSON data object. Save the code. By having generate access token, we are ready to create utility functions in the PayPal object. The first function is create order. We call this function when we want to redirect user to the PayPal website to make the payment. It's an async function that accepts total price as number. Then we call generate token from this function and get the access token from it. Then shape the URL to create an order at this address, the base URL, I mean this one, /v2/checkout/orders. By fetching this URL and passing these options, we create an order in the PayPal, and it makes it possible to pay an order through PayPal. In the options, we have method equal to post. In the header, we need to set authorization to bearer access token, and content type is of type JSON. In the body, we need to stringify this object. The intent is capture. Purchase unit is an array that contains an object. In this object, we have amount. In the amount, we need to define the currency code. It's US dollar. And the value is, it's the price. And the value is the price. The next function in PayPal object is capture payment. We call this function when we are going to finish a payment. It accepts the order ID. It's the order ID from PayPal, not from our application. Like before, get access to the access token. And the new URL to capture payment is /v2/checkout/orders order ID /capture. Then call fetch on this URL and set the method to post and header authorization bearer token. So we authorize this request using access token from generate access token, and by calling this API, the payment will be done in the PayPal. Good. Next step is create PayPal order API using app router in the Next.js. Go to app API orders ID and create a new folder named create PayPal order. Inside that new file, route.ts to generate an API to respond to create order API. Here is the code in create PayPal order API. Export const post, it's a post API. Call auth function from live folder and wrap an async function that accepts all parameters as requests, and in this function extract first parameter, it is the request, and second parameter is an object that contains params in the URL. If there is no authentication, if user is not authorized, send the error message. Then connect to the database using dbconnect from live folder. And after that, call order model imported from models folder. Then call find by ID on the ID in the URL from models folder, imported from models folder. Check the order. If we have this order in the database, create try catch block. Inside that, import PayPal from live folder we already created here, and call create order from this object. As parameter, pass the total price. We are going to get this value from user through PayPal. Get the PayPal order and return this as JSON to the front end. If there is an error, return the error message. If the order does not exist, return order not found and set a status to 404. Next step is creating another API to capture PayPal order to finalize the payment. In the ID, right-click, New Folder, Capture PayPal Order. Inside that, right-click, Route.ts. Like what we did in Create PayPal Order, we need to define post function, wrap the function in auth, import it from auth.ts, get the parameters, extract the first parameter and rename it to request, and second parameter contains the values in the URL, the ID in the URL. If there is an error, show the error message, close the opening parentheses, and let's go for connecting to the DB. Connect to the database, import it from DB Connect. Next step is getting the order from order model. Import it from order model.ts. If order exists, call rec.json to get the payload from this API and from the payload access to the order ID. Then import paypal.ts from live folder and call capture payment on order ID. It's the order ID of PayPal. Put the result in captured data and update the order like this. Set is paid to true, paid add to current time, and payment result contains the ID of payment in the PayPal, update time in the PayPal, and email address contains the user email address. Go to order model, add update time, and in the payment result, pass captured data from PayPal to the payment result in our database, like this. At the end, we need to call save on the order to save this information in the database and return the updated order to the front end. If there is an error, return the error message. If the order does not exist, return 404 error message. Save the code. The next step is in order details component. Open order details.tsx and right after use session, define create PayPal order function. Here we call this API, set method to post, header to application/JSON. And what we did here is to get the response and return the order ID for PayPal component. After this function, define unapproved PayPal order. It accepts data, and here we call the captured PayPal order that we created in previous steps. Pass the data as parameter, as payload to this API, and in the then part, return the JSON data of the response, and in the last then, toast this beautiful message imported from React Hot Toast. The message is order paid successfully. We use create PayPal order and unapprove in the PayPal component. Open terminal, pnpm install @PayPal/React PayPal.js. It's the official package by PayPal to access PayPal API in the React. After installing, scroll down, and right after LI for total, render this conditional rendering. If order is not paid and the payment method is PayPal, then render an LI. Inside that, call PayPal script provider. Inside that, render PayPal script provider from PayPal package. At the very beginning of this file, import PayPal button and PayPal script provider from @PayPal/React PayPal.js. Scroll down, set options. In the options, get the PayPal client ID from the props of this component, and inside the provider, render PayPal button. We pass two properties. The first one is create order function and onApprove. We already created these functions at the beginning of this component. Let's test the result. Select the product, add to cart, go to cart, proceed to checkout, enter shipping, select PayPal in the PayPal method, next, and place the order. Then, here we have PayPal button. Let's open and make it bigger like this and click on PayPal button. You will be redirected to the PayPal to finish the payment. Enter your test ID, your test email that you already have in your Sandbox account when you create your credential for Sandbox account, and then complete purchase. After a while, you will be redirected to the order page, but this time the payment information, the status of payment is paid at this date. And there is no PayPal button here. Good. We successfully implemented order payment by PayPal in this lesson. Until next lesson, bye-bye.